All right, a news conference there. Steve Witkoff, the Middle East envoy and also National Security Advisor Mike Waltz updating some of the media. And you could hear through the line of questionings a lot of delicate answers. Common sense approach is what Mike Waltz is talking about, also highlighting the fact that this is going to be several phases. Steve Witkoff saying we want to be, clear with folks, especially when it comes to the third phase, and be realistic to what it looks like to get into Gaza and what he says is humanitarian, obviously, to upgrade the situation there. We are pleased right now to bring in Ambassador David Friedman, former U.S. ambassador to Israel. Sir, always great to see you. You also have a brand new book out, One Jewish State. And it's really, the timing of it couldn't be more apropos. From what you just heard, are you optimistic now that Donald Trump, and it is not Biden, who is sort of looking at this, because this literally could reshape the Middle East for the future?
Well, that was a great press conference. I took great encouragement from it, and I take even more encouragement from what President Trump has been saying over the last 2 weeks. And just the fact that Prime Minister Netanyahu is today in the Oval Office after 15 days of the Trump presidency. It took literally almost an entire 4 years of the Biden administration for the Prime Minister of Israel, America's closest ally, maybe in the world, but certainly in the Middle East, to get an invite to the Oval Office. So this is, a 180-degree turn, and the words are encouraging. And Bianca, especially, I'm very encouraged by the way they're thinking about Gaza. They're thinking about it very realistically. They understand, Steve Witkoff's 100% right. It's not going to take 5 years to rebuild Gaza. It's a 10, 15, 20-year project. And what that looks like, and remember, part of that is to get capital. And
well, let's talk about, Jordan, King Abdullah is coming, President Sisi of Egypt. There's been some pushback on the idea to take in these Palestinians. But ultimately, for Hamas to be eradicated and for people to have a place to live, as you just heard, there's no water, there's 30,000 unexploded, devices. Do you think that the pressure that Donald Trump can exert on some of the other Arab states will allow them to see that this is the best solution? And obviously, we still give aid to Egypt. That's part of this, that leverage that Donald Trump has no problem, I'm sure, wielding when he has these difficult discussions, Ambassador.
Oh, listen, we've seen in a couple of weeks the kind of leverage the president has all around the world. I mean, the United States is the largest economy in the world. It's got the largest military in the world. The dollar is the reserve currency of the world. And President Trump's willing to use that leverage. Now, in Jordan and in Egypt, and those countries in particular, we give them a lot of money. Jordan is not in a position to really be a standalone country without the assistance of the United States as well as Israel. You can make the same case for Egypt, although they don't like to admit that. Israel helps Egypt tremendously with their security, in the Sinai Peninsula, which Israel gave back to Jordan after it captured it in the Six-Day War. There's a lot of space there. And Israel has helped Egypt when it needed it. And what has Egypt done in response? They've kept the border very porous with Gaza, allowing a lot of arms to come in. So, look, there is a time. This is a time of reckoning for all the countries in the Middle East to understand this is a collective problem. It's not, the old thinking of, well, let all these people just go after Israel, let Israel deal with it, let Israel go to war. That's over. I mean, they have to step in and join the world, join the community of nations, and solve these problems.
Exactly. It was October 7th, 2023. Israel was attacked. Israel had done nothing to provoke any of this, and here we are today. But again, appreciate your thoughtful comments as we are sort of seeing a resettling and a reshaping of the Middle East and maybe back to some normalcy. And with Donald Trump and Netanyahu's visit today, we await, obviously, more good news. Ambassador David Friedman, always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you, Bianca. Good to be with you.